lemon raisin, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stout ice cream cake, peach, grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door. When you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork, roast fish, fried fish, and roast corn, contact me at 914-699-0145. Also check out our juice bar with our smoothies, boosters, mash, and therapy juices. 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Ice cream, jerk chicken, roast fish and corn, and over them you gone.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereida Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
This is Glacia, and you're listening to the resplendent, resourceful, beautiful, brilliant, innovative, informative, and entertaining Lady D on Inside the Zone on Linkage Radio. Keep on listening and keep it locked. Lady D is on the radio. Lady D is on the radio. Music that never stops, no. Information, inspiration, motivation. Lady D is on the radio. Lady D's on the radio. Keep on listening, yeah. Keep it locked. Lady D's on the radio. Music that never stops. Music that never stops, no. Oh, yeah. Music, sweet music, inspiration. Inside the zone, inside that zone. Hey, hey, hey. Lady D's on the radio. Oh, turn me up now. Yeah. Lady D, say Lady D. Lady D is on the radio. Inside the zone. Whoa, Go on, my sister. Hey, seasoned, sensational. Lady D, elegant, entertaining. Lady D, whoa, Lady D. Inside the zone, yeah. Lady D, inside the zone.
Monday. Monday, 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 Monday. Let me call you by name, Monday. Hi, Monday. How are you? Oh, I just frightened Monday. Oh, no. Monday, Monday, Monday. I tell you, it's Labor Day. And I'm here, ready to go. Happy Labor Day, everyone. Those of you who are working assiduously in ensuring that you perfect your craft, giving back to the job, the people who hired you, or you are your own business owner. You have your own business and you are fair to your employees. Those of you who have, those of you who have businesses. Some of us have business, Yeah, but we perhaps don't say it. So everybody knows that we just do a thing. But it's your business, man. Come on now. It's business at name. Business. 27 minutes after 5 o'clock. Welcome to the show, The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. I try to look in the camera to build that kind of relationship and engagement with my audience on the YouTube channel. So if you see I'm looking down, it's simply because I'm mastering the controls. So I'm not ignoring you at all. So welcome to my listening and viewing audience. Can you imagine we got to that stage where we can acknowledge those who are watching live, like we're on TV, and saying a very special good afternoon to those who are on the traditional, what we call radio broadcast. Isn't that something? So I'm in blue today, sporting my drops. Yeah, sporting my nice drop earrings. And then I wrap the hair, and leave a bow in the front. I was out today up in Hartsdale. Went to a cookout. Yeah, and it was nice. So I hurriedly got back so I could be here on time to do my show. Invariably, am I not here on a holiday? Unless I'm just not around or, I feel a little overwhelmed, meaning tired. But not today. It's Labor Day and I'm here to do my part. How are you? Have you been relaxing home all day? Or you went out and you were productive? Be that as it may, the show must go on. 29 minutes after 5 o'clock. I'm broadcasting on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, and Linkage Radio TuneIn app. It is my pleasure to be here with you this afternoon, and I'm hoping you'll stay with me. Keep my company, please, until 7 p.m. So whether you're there yard or abroad, I'd like to welcome you. Did you know that Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally? Yes, it does. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities in family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, and food insecurity. A critical part of our daily existence. Did you know that? Hands up all who can do without food. You can just simply drink water and juice and you're fine. If you are that person, let me wave. Good for you. But some of us don't have much to thrive on, so we need food. It is keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. And of course, I got a lot of music today because it's holiday. So I'm going to make some changes if you don't mind, because I have to be respectful to my audience and communicate to you that XYZ is not going to happen. I don't just show up and say, hey, like when people handing you your food and then just slap it down on the table. And you have to look up and say, hi, why? You can't put on my plate properly on the table, especially when they have you up. Anybody out there have up anybody? I hope not. So good afternoon to you. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez. It's a pleasure having you. And of course, I would not make any changes to the program because the Monday beat is coming up right now. Don't forget the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. What you all think of the headpiece, today? And the earrings in the chat, you can let me know. If you have recommendations, I'll gladly take them. My name is Denise. How are you? What's your name? Let me know your name. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. It's a good day. It's Monday. Let's get some music on the road here on the show, on the turntable. Kicking it off with the Monday beat with Change Lovers Holiday. More music for you. Hey everyone, good afternoon. It's a Monday drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside here on Inside of the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez.
You weren't there and I was broken hearted. Hung up the phone, can't be too late. The boss is so demanding. Open the door up and to my surprise, there you were standing. Who needs to go to work to hustle for another dollar? I'd rather be with you cause you make my heart scream and holler. Love is a gamble and I'm so glad that I am winning. We've come a long way and yet this is only the beginning.
The Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. It's my Labor Day show. Good afternoon, everyone. Lady D here with you until 7 p.m. Monday. Say it loud. Monday.
So many times by holding back I left.
Did I just scare you? I hope not.
And then one day I asked myself the reason why. And like an answer from above, you came into my life and showed me one thing for sure. With love, nothing is certain. You have to go for it when you feel it. Everybody needs somebody to love, and I choose you.
Music on a Monday afternoon. Man, I used to watch Where It's At, and I get all the moves to get back to school on Monday. School is Monday and Tuesday coming up in Jamaica. Lord, back to school. 5:42 p.m. Good afternoon. Well, you got a good run there in the Monday beat, chasing the Monday blues out of here with great music. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. Good afternoon to you, and you, wherever you are. I must apologize to my YouTubers. The glitch that we're experiencing, that will settle down in a few minutes, but stay with me, keep my company, don't go anywhere. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
It's 5:47 p.m. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. What's in the zone this afternoon? This is What's in the Zone. Tell me what you think.
Thought to be a descendant of King Solomon.
All right, so I do apologize. Let me take it from the beginning.
But few stories are as compelling as that of Yeshi Casa and her great-grandfather. His country knew him as royalty, thought to be a descendant of King Solomon. His worshippers, including reggae legend Bob Marley, knew him as a messiah, and the world knew him as Haile Selassie, ruler of Ethiopia, the last in a 3,000-year-old dynasty. The new documentary, Grandpa Was an Emperor, is all about her journey of discovery and coming to terms with both a privileged and very painful past.
I was thrilled to be a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker.
But your heart?
My heart, I'm an Ethiopian.
For 40 years, Yeshi Casa has lived in relative obscurity as a banker in the Big Apple, exiled from her homeland and her birthright.
Some people want to call me princess, but I'm really not one.
But your grandpa?
My grandfather was an emperor, yes.
Grandpa Was an Emperor is the little-known story behind the overthrow of Emperor Haile Selassie, a monarchy which claimed ancestral ties to King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba.
So what do I remember about him? He was very strict, very austere, very quiet. You weren't allowed to just talk and act in any kind of childlike way. You had to be very grown up.
From 1930 to 1974, Selassie federalized a once feudal nation, abolishing slavery, resisting Italy's fascist occupation,
Emperor Haile Selassie rides in majesty through London,
and raising Ethiopia's political standing around the world.
The White House rolls out the red carpet for Emperor Haile Selassie.
He also presided over the continent's first African Union. But poverty and a crippling famine began to undermine his rule, as well as his annexation of neighboring Eritrea.
This is the last picture taken before our lives went straight to hell.
This film answers a lifetime of questions.
This was the hardest one ever because of all these stories.
Filmmaker Constance Marks, director of Sundance Award winner Being Elmo, befriended Casa while the two volunteered at a homeless shelter.
She told me her family's story. And she said, we're thinking about either writing a book or making a film. And I said, do you know what I do? And she said, no. And I said, I'm a documentary filmmaker.
Casa's story begins in 1973, when at 11, she and her sister were sent abroad to boarding school.
I was a badly behaved child, so...
You admit that freely?
I do freely admit that. So they had promised us, you know, when you go, you'll be back in less than a year, you'll be able to come home.
But in September 1974, a Marxist-Leninist junta called the Derg seized the nation.
My father called and he said, don't come back to Ethiopia, go to Switzerland. When the revolution first started, they kept saying it's going to be a bloodless revolution. They promised, land for the farmers and economic reforms and political reforms and social reforms.
Instead, it became a bloodbath, first with the execution of 60 men, then with the Red Terror, which claimed hundreds of thousands of lives, including that of her father, and on August 27, 1975, Haile Selassie himself.
Later on, we discovered that he was murdered. Yeah, he was murdered. I mean, he used to be an emperor,
What do you think the perception of your great-grandfather was versus the reality?
I think there was a perception that he was all-powerful, and I think that's where people make a mistake about Grandpa. He abolished slavery, he federalized the system, and he had massive opposition in doing that from these incredibly powerful aristocratic families that had as much power as him.
But it's the survivors that the film seeks to hail.
My mom had resisted making any kind of film or talking about what had happened. I was upset that people did not know what they'd done to my family and to the women, the imperial women.
11 women in her family were held captive for 15 years.
Was it worth it being born who we are?
Absolutely not. Not for me.
I sort of fell in love with the fervor by which Yeshi was telling her story. I call her Auntie Yeshi.
Tony Award-winning actress Cynthia Erivo is executive producer.
Auntie Yeshi was just telling this really vulnerable story, no holds barred. We don't get to do that very often, and it's a huge, huge life that was lived and is still being lived, and I just felt immediately like people had to see it. I don't want to spoil it.
Right.
I don't want to spoil it, but there are moments there.
The Bob Marley moment.
He was a good person, and he took care of me.
The pioneering reggae superstar followed the Rastafarian movement, which regarded Selassie as a modern-day messiah. Marley helped rescue Kasa's younger sisters.
Bob was the first person to say to me, do you actually know who your grandfather is, what he means to people, what he means to the West?
What was he to you?
He was somebody that I loved very much.
Kasa hopes telling this story will set the record straight, the good and the bad on all sides.
Mommy, do you think this is important to do? Yeah, at least they'll have something to remember, because it's very easily forgotten.
I'm not reasonable about my family. I don't like hearing bad things about them. And it was always this conversation where people were very pro the royal family or very against it. And it was hard to get to know the middle. And so this film, I think it gave me real perspective.
So what do you think people will say when they see this?
I think this film is about women. The ladies in London who helped the princesses who were in prison, the people who helped rescue my siblings. Like, this film is about women. So I hope that's what people see.
Okay, from the horse's mouth, that's what I dubbed it. Haile Selassie's granddaughter, Kasa, she shares the behind-the-scenes snippet of making of the film under the directorship of executive producer Cynthia Erivo, and it's about her grandfather, Haile Selassie. I'm sure many people, when they see this film, when it hits the movie theater, it's a documentary, but when it hits, I'm sure many will walk away either gawking or troubled. And they're really highlighting the role of women, but of course he is the main feature, but the support of women will also be highlighted in this documentary. So I just had to share that with you in What's in the Zone. Good afternoon to everyone. 4 minutes and counting to keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. I have a few headlines for you, more music. It's one of those days, and I'd like to welcome everyone. I missed my birthday, anniversary, and baby shout outs. I'll just do that right now. I'd like to say hi to all those celebrating your birthday today. It's Labor Day and it's your birthday, so you get double whammy. You have work and you have a royal treatment, which I'm hoping somebody will be treating you, right? And then there is a wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary to someone out there celebrating their anniversary. And the baby was born today on Labor Day, September 5. So, baby, welcome into the world. To my YouTubers, what would I do without you? Thank you for staying with me. And to my avid listeners of Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM, we could not do without you. Not to mention Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. That is www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. Thank you. Are you listening on the Linkage Radio TuneIn app? You can. I listened with my earpads on my way in always. And when I'm coming here, I'm listening and I'm trying to familiarize myself, as a matter of fact, with some of the presenters here. You know, there was a time when we knew each other. Now people are either doing it from their own location, so you don't find everyone coming into the station as they used to. But I find it very homely, so I still come. You know, yes. So hi to Eddie and them. You know, I coined this one for Eddie and all those young people. Eddie and Pat and Gloria and Yam Lady and Auntie Daphne, who says she's packing. Auntie Daphne, are you finished packing yet? Or we would say, you done pack yet? I hope so. Or you have help. Ryan had asked recently, Auntie Daphne, if you're still packing. I'm sure he would come over and give you some assistance. So not to worry, okay? But anyway, I just want to say greetings to everybody. It's a nice day. It is Monday, and it's now 5:59 p.m. So I'm going to head over to the news department and do something like this for you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know with News, Happenings, and Facts, brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. We start off with news out of Kingston, Jamaica. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has called on women to provide support and encouragement to do the necessary screening test for prostate cancer. And that's rather to men. In his message to mark Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, which is being observed during September, Tufton highlighted the fear and apprehension that most men have about prostate cancer screening and pointed out that women have the ability to positively influence men in this regard. Quote, I therefore call upon our women to help encourage us, to hold our hand even as we contemplate the screening and regular checkups that are essential, end quote, he said. Tufton indicated that prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in Jamaican men and the leading cause of cancer-related deaths among the male population. The minister reasoned that everyone, especially mothers, sisters, wives, and partners, is anxious to change the current statistic and expressed confidence that the encouragement from women would make a difference. He stressed the importance of men getting over any fear or apprehension that they may have about prostate cancer screening. Quote, screening is about early detection, and early detection saves lives. Screening for prostate cancer using the prostate-specific antigen and the digital rectal examination can identify abnormalities and may find cancer early so that affected men can begin treatment before it spreads, end quote, the minister noted. Tufton issued a reminder that prostate cancer is treatable and that the Health and Wellness Ministry, along with its partner agencies, the Jamaica Cancer Society and the National Health Fund, remains committed to ensuring that Jamaican men have access to the necessary screening facilities, drugs, and therapies for cancer care. Quote, "We know that with regular screening coupled with the expert cancer care that is available in Jamaica, we will better control the severity of this disease in our nation," end quote, he said. The minister reiterated that prostate cancer is a serious health issue for men that requires an all-hands-on-deck approach to effectively diagnose and treat. Quote, "Together we will work to provide every patient with affordable, reliable care and look forward to a future free from prostate cancer," end quote, he said. Prostate Cancer Awareness Month is being observed under the theme, "The more you know, you'll go get screened." And out of Westmoreland, Jamaica. A tearful Adrian Lang says he could not find the strength to look at his 13-year-old daughter, Adriana, when he visited her in hospital on Monday. Adriana was injured in a house fire that killed her 3 younger brothers Sunday evening. The distraught father broke down in tears after disclosing that he was nearby but not close enough to save the children from the blaze. Reports from the police are that Lang, the father of all 4 children, was at home with them when he lit a candle after a power outage in the community. The 48-year-old, who is a popular selector in the area, subsequently went outside, and shortly after, the house was engulfed in flames. Efforts were made to rescue the children. However, only Adriana was saved due to the magnitude of the blaze, according to the police report. Lang was a vision of grief as he told Observer Online that his 13-year-old daughter is in critical condition at the hospital. Quote, "Doctors say she critical. Me tell them say me no really I go see her still, but she still critical," unquote, he said. Quote, "The whole world take out from under me foot them. I was here but not close enough to save them. When me realize the fire, it too much for me. I just some brave Samaritans. Hear me daughter I cry, decide say, if I even them dead, them a go fear," end quote. Holding back tears, Lang said he has been a single father since the children's mother disappeared last August. He shared that he has struggled to take care of them, but as always ensured their needs were met. Lang said he made all preparations for the beginning of the new school term and is now left distraught at a loss. Quote, "Me take care of them good. Me buy everything and press out them clothes for them. Go to school this morning. Me tell them say, kids, a morning unu a go school in a unu new grade. Unu a go inna. Me alone a hold them up. Me a the father and mother. So me a keep them. Me take care of me youth them. This rough," end quote. The Negril and Savannah Lamar fire brigades were summoned to the scene of the blaze on Monday. Upon their arrival, they conducted a cooling down operation where the burnt remains of Jaden, Jordan, and Adriana were seen in the burnt-out shell of the 5-room house. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. St. Hilda's Diocesan High School in Brownstown, St. Anne, has been rocked by several late teacher resignations, leaving the all-girls institution short by 6 teachers. The school is also short on furniture, with Principal Heather Reed Johnson saying this should be remedied by Wednesday, as some desks and chairs are being repaired at the Brownstown High School. Quote, "We are short 6 teachers, and some of these are due to late resignations. We had 3 teachers resigning in the last 2 weeks," end quote, Reed Johnson told the Gleaner today. The school is short of 2 teachers for mathematics and chemistry, and 1 each for Spanish and visual arts. Reed Johnson said the school has advertised for teachers to fill the spots, and with a new With a few applications already in hand, she's hoping to find suitable teachers to fill the positions. Currently, the school has a teaching staff of 47 with 1,028 students. Despite the setbacks, the principal remains positive. Quote, "I would say, in spite of the challenges, we're off to a good start," end quote, she stated. Meanwhile, registration of students for lower sixth form has been delayed due to the late arrival of the CSEC results, which the governing exam body, CXC, has promised to release by 6 p.m. today. Quote, "We're looking forward to some good results. In spite of the pandemic, the girls remained focused. I know they too are anxiously awaiting the results," end quote, Reed Johnson said. Taxi operators in Linstead St. Catherine have withdrawn their service following changes in the routes to and from the town centre. The action resulted in scores of people being left stranded Monday morning. Commuters heading to Redwood, Guys Hill, Ewerton and Charlemont were mostly affected. Previously, drivers would pick up passengers along King Street in both directions, but that road has now been turned into a one-way street. The drivers have described the rerouting by the authorities as dangerous. Quote, "We need to be part of the reasoning as we take up the change. A whole heap of robberies are go on," end quote, one driver, Martin Linder, said. When the rural township was visited by the Gleaner, police personnel were observed manning various points. Quote, "If they cooperate, I think that the one-way system will work," end quote, Inspector Maxine Thomas said. The police said they will sustain their presence in the town until order returns to the area. Manager of the Linstead Transportation Centre, Christopher Angus, said if the taxi operators use the park, things would proceed smoother. The park can accommodate 60 cars and 35 buses. While there is the view that Jamaica schools should be compensated for participating in pen relays, veteran track and field coach Maurice Wilson believes the current arrangement is mutually favorable. Quote, "Jamaican schools and their athletes have been benefiting tremendously from attending the pen relays for many, many years," end quote, he told the Jamaica Observer. "Some people say there are only minuscule benefits, but I do not share the belief. Jamaican athletes have been getting scholarships in the American system to further their education and their athletic prowess," Wilson added, noting that the Relay Carnival provides a platform for Jamaican athletes to impress United States College Scouts. The annual pen relays, said to have been first held in 1895, is regarded as the oldest and largest track and field competition in the U.S. Staged at Franklin Field in Pennsylvania, it attracts scores of Jamaican athletes, most of whom attend high schools. These athletes command the respect of organizers because of the entertainment value they bring. Wilson's endorsement of the pen relays comes in the wake of criticism of the event by outspoken athlete manager QB Sigubin during a sit-down interview with The Observer earlier this year. The Guyanese-born Sigubin, who is based in the U.S., noted that some Jamaican schools are barely able to afford to send their athletes to the event, while the organizers profit immensely. Quote, "I see it in a totally different way. I would not send one team to pen relays because they make so much money off the Jamaicans at the pen relays," end quote, he said. "I see pen relays exploiting the athletes. The pen relays should pay," Sigubin added. "The kids want to go there. They want to go because they get U.S. visas, but the stands are filled and they get not one dime in return. If I was the ISA, Intersecondary School Sports Association, or the J3A, Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, I would not sanction anybody to going to pen relays," the globally acclaimed athlete manager reiterated. But Wilson, who has served Jamaica's track and field teams at the Olympic Games and the World Championships as coach and as a technical leader, maintained the pen relays has its purpose and has contributed to the country's rich history in track and field. Quote, the youngsters are exposed to a different style. They're exposed to different culture and to different people. I value and support the Penn Relays. It has over a 100-year history, and it will only do good for our Jamaican athletes for that kind of exposure at the high school level, end quote, said Wilson, the principal of G.C. Foster College of Physical Education and Sports and head coach of Spin Tech Track Club. To address the challenge some schools have of finding the resources to participate at the relays, Wilson recommended continued partnership with Team Jamaica Bickle, the U.S.-based charity organization headed by Erwin Clare, and alliances with past students, bodies, particularly in the diaspora. Quote, I think what is needed is for any other support that can be given, whether through partnerships, especially with alumni abroad, than that can ease the financial burden for the schools. I think that could make a huge difference, end quote, said the man who was head coach of Homewood Technical High School when they won 9 consecutive ISA Girls Championships and 10 overall between 2013 and 2013. 12 minutes after 6 o'clock, keeping you in the know with news, happenings, and facts. You may call me at 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228 to join in the discussion concerning the headlines. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know with News, Happenings, and Facts. This afternoon, I'm broadcasting on the YouTube channel Inside the Zone with Lady D and on Linkage Radio on the TuneIn app. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
I hope you're having a great Labor Day today. I'm spending it with you until 7 o'clock this evening. It's now 14 minutes after 6 o'clock. The first headline, once again, before I get into the first headline, the telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. I'd like to hear your comments on the headlines that I just featured today. The one that I'd like to start off with, which over and over again, as the Health Minister Christopher Tufton in Jamaica is making a plea for women to encourage men to get screened for prostate cancer. I endorse, and so do well-thinking women and men who have already gotten screened. There are many people out there, men, eligible for screening who refuse to be screened. If you ask me, a lot of it is out of fear, because you fear the unknown. But it is best you get screened. So in the event there is evidence of something there, it can be treated early, rather than you not being screened at all. And then when you fall ill, when they do take you to the doctor and the recommendation is made that you should be screened for prostate cancer and the result returns positive, that's the time everybody is in a tailspin. And this is something that I continue to sing a song like a Sankey about. I have a first caller. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know. Good day.
Good afternoon, lady. Good afternoon, Lady D. I turned fool a while ago. Me I call your number and go call different number. I turned fool. Jesus Christ, you poor man.
All right.
This
So,
poor man really
my dear heart, Hortense, good afternoon.
Boy.
So I was just
good
talking
afternoon,
about the
lady.
prostate cancer. What headline would
Yes.
you like to talk about first? Because I was addressing the prostate cancer. Which one are you distressed about? Hello? Hortense? All right, I'm not hearing her. She's going to have to call me back because clearly she's distressed about a headline. 914-600-4228. And as I was saying, when they do take you to the doctor and the tests are done, it's at that time that they're telling you they can't help you. It's too far gone. So for this month of September, as always, when I feature topical issues within the month on my radio platform, I will certainly be talking about it. Not only will I be talking about it, but I will have medical professionals who have to conduct those kinds of tests to walk you through how it's done, how your fears can be alleviated, and why it is necessary for you to do so. Again, I'm going to say that I think out of fear, it also raises the concern that while you don't want to take the test, your family is going to be pressured and stressed. Because if it's a wife, she's talking to you consistently about going to take the test. And you continue to respond in the negative by telling her you're okay and you don't want any doctor to have to insert his finger in your anus. You ask me, that is not a sexual approach. It's not an approach that should cause you because it's a doctor, unless you think the doctor is otherwise, as we would say, minded, which most of the time that's not the case. It's a professional exam, and they're not even there alone. Hello? So if that's all your concern is, that is really a very shoddy one. I'm going to say that. Because that's not an invasion. It's not an invasion of your personal privacy. It's a medical examination that is necessary. So I'm going to make the appeal during the month of September for men to get their prostate done. It's like I'm encouraging women, have you done your colonoscopy? Have you done your mammogram? No, Lady D, me just afraid. Okay, fine, you're afraid. But it is necessary. Go get it checked. Get it checked. Because if it's not checked and it spreads, then there is little that can be done to save your life. That's my thought on that. My second one, if you'd like to call me, you may call me and share your thoughts too. Because I find that when men make their transition, everybody's left mourning and saying how John Hardy is and all kinds of things when he could have gone. And no matter how we say it, there's still somebody listening to me today or someone in the world who made the decision and went for an examination or have scheduled their examination. Come on, men. We are encouraging you to go. Go get your screening done. How much more can we do? Information is available if you're fearful. How much more can we do? Now, in Jamaica, as we know, many people were raised in households where you had to use a lamp, a candle, some form of okay, I do apologize for that. Yes, many people were raised with some form of assistance with light. You couldn't snap your finger for light to come, so you know how that go. Good afternoon. Welcome. How are you?
Yes, lady, do I get cut off?
Yes, ma'am. How are you? Good afternoon.
Oh,
How is your
Jesus.
Labor Day?
Take it easy.
Okay.
They're cooking, I don't know where they're cooking out there, but crab tour and matty fat tour.
Oh, so something on grill. I've never had crab toe on the grill before.
All right. Something out there going.
Okay. All right.
Jesus
What are your
Christ.
thoughts? What concerns you?
With the children, the woman, the
Okay.
one left them on him, man. And him saying him and look after them. Them as they are in the new school, in dress their clothes. But what happens? The light go off because a lot of rain down there. Because some people all 3
Have
days
power
now, they don't get
outages.
that light.
Yes.
Power outages, the transformer blow up has gone to them. And nothing. Look how the man be like. The man saying was me, but not the months on here. To hear the picnic them. Oh my living God.
It's very unfortunate because
Jesus
clearly
Christ.
some is either one of the a child either pull it the table cover or it turned over. And when they talk about like 5-bedroom house, most of the time is board house. So it's it's gonna catch a fire fast.
He would catch a fire fast. But the brick wouldn't catch a fast.
Right. So when you hear 5 bedrooms and so most time it's boarded house. So he just went outside up. Sometimes you would want to say, how much more careful can a person be? Because sometimes you're in your space. You know what you have left behind. You know you're not gone far. Many of us, we are cooking, whether it's gas stove, kerosene oil, something, kerosene, right? And you said, let you just step into your room or something. Anything can happen. And it's the same thing. He stepped outside just to go check on, and then the house catch a fire. Boy, and only one child they could save. And
the 13-year-old one, you don't know if it can. Oh, Jesus.
It's very sad.
Wow.
Very sad how it ends.
Jesus Christ. This morning, when I hear Clive Mullin, somebody call and say condolence to argue and condolence to these people of Westmoreland. But I never hear the headline news.
Oh.
I did not hear it.
Okay.
So and I was listening, but I would hear the 11 o'clock, which we the 11 o'clock never come because Wayman from Florida come on and play on Monday and Wednesday. So we never hear. So
you never hear. Oh, Lord.
We come we will hear how what happened.
Yes.
It's not one full of time ago when you say Westmoreland. And we say, Jesus Christ, yeah. We even call a Jamaica to find out how happy if nobody here will have a Westmoreland. Then they dig it put down, they don't hear nothing. Have mercy.
Oh, it is.
I have a cousin, Mr. Alda, you hear nothing in Westmoreland?
No.
No, so we don't hear nothing.
Because sometimes they're there, moving about so quickly. Life is moving so fast for a lot of people. I can tell you, it's not at all times. You really are able to hear the news until the end of the day when you sit down and you're playing catch up. So they might not hear. So don't blame them too badly, despite the fact that they are in Jamaica. It happens. Because right here, sometimes we miss a headline. You might ask me about a headline that I didn't know of, you know? So don't beat them too badly, but may the children's soul rest in peace. The father is distraught. He's so distraught because when everybody else is sending out their children, yeah, when everybody else sending out their children to school, he's now having to worry about a funeral. Yeah, it's sad. Everything gone.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Everything gone.
A new class, and I go in a new class.
It's sad. It's sad. Hold your thought a moment. Hold on. Good afternoon. Welcome to Keeping You in the Know. Who is online?
Good afternoon, Lady D, and to is that Hortense on the line? And
Yes.
to everyone listening. How
Yes.
are you today?
Hey,
Happy
Pat.
Labor Day
It's
to
Labor
everyone.
Day. I'm in blue.
All right. You didn't go down to Eastern Parkway, did you?
No, I was up in Hartsdale.
Okay.
Yeah, I went up to Hartsdale.
Okay. Well, okay. It turned out to be a beautiful day.
Yes.
Rain was predicted in the forecast, but thank God, it was held. Yes, just keeping in tune with the
Hold your
topic.
thought one moment, Pat. To my most recent caller, please stay on the line. Go ahead, Pat. Hortense, you hold on.
Okay, Lady D.
Go ahead, Pat.
Okay. I believe it is very imperative. It's important that men should get a prostate exam, just the way women get a mammogram or a pap smear. Because you know what? Just as you had said earlier, that there are men who feel that they don't want the medical doctor to insert their finger in their anus to check, but that's the only way to check. You know, it's just unfortunate, but it's not a sexual thing. That's the only way they can medically check the man to make sure that, the growth is not there. But it is vitally important to have your prostate checked every year. I don't remember the age at which one should start getting the prostate check, but it's very, very important. And women, please make sure you get your mammogram and your pap smear. It can save your life. Oftentimes, when women go to the doctor only to find out, the cancer has metastasized, it has gone way out of proportion, and there's nothing medically that can be done. But we have to be proactive and take care of ourselves. It's scary, yes. Nobody wants to go to the doctor. Nobody wants to hear the bad news. But I would prefer to go and get the bad news and then have the doctor discuss with me a treatment plan as to how I am going to take better care of myself. But don't just sit back and say you're scared. We have to empower. We have to encourage. And thank you for the platform this evening, Lady D, wherein, you have raised this topic, because we do have men on the line, and we have men who are also listening. And so each one needs to tell one. We have to be our brother and sister keeper. We must look out for our brothers and sisters. So please, everyone, be proactive. Take care of yourselves.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Blessings, Pat.
You're welcome, Lady D.
All right.
Okay, you're welcome. Blessings too.
Who is my third caller? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lady D. How are you doing?
Good, sir. Greetings to you, brother in the Lord.
Yes, well, great topic you have going here. And I just want to chime in here for a little bit. I have 3 topics I would like to address. First of all, the one about men should address their health concerns. Now, I am only going to say one thing on that topic. Men should stop being a wuss and go do what they have to do or what they need to do or what women have been doing for years. Because most of the time when it comes to health, women will do anything. They will go through any procedure in order to take care of themselves, most women. And then the men, they will have these hang-ups and these ridiculous nonsense because they don't want to go to the doctor. So I will just say, as a man, I'm saying to all the men, just man up and go take care of yourself. That's number one. Number two, I'd like to say condolences to the family of the children who have perished in the fire. It's a very, very horrible situation. But I also would like to address a couple of topics. I don't know if you addressed them because I turned on the radio a little bit after 6 o'clock. I started listening, so I don't know if you read any of them. It has to do with the back to school issue in Jamaica and the Holland, I think it's Holland High School in Trelawney, I think it is, where some students were barred from going to classes because of, according to the school, improper dress code. Now, while the school, they have their rules and their regulations, and I would encourage students overall to adhere to it as much as possible. I'm still wondering why it is that in 2022 we have some of these arcane rules and regulations that are preventing our students from getting an education. One, there were some girls who were stopped from going into class because they were wearing beads. It's as trivial as that.
Beads?
They were wearing beads in their head.
Okay.
As a part of their hairstyle. It's a trivial matter. And I do agree that rules are supposed to be followed, but my issue is with the rules in the first place. Why are we in Jamaica still making these stupid, ridiculous rules that has nothing to do with education? In my opinion, it has to do with control of these children. They're telling the students, you can't wear beads in your head. You can't wear dreadlocks. You can't wear your uniform at a certain length. You can't wear your pants if it's too tight. You can't wear your pants if it's too loose. You can't. Some of these rules, Lady D, I believe, are ridiculous, and it's time our government start to clamp down on these principles and let them allow the students to go to class and learn.
So let me say this. We understand that rules are rules. Some rules might appear to be extreme. You mentioned about dress code. We are more than aware that you will find students whose uniform for girls, their uniform skirts are too short. So we get that. We know that sometimes the bead, if a school say don't wear no bead because it no go with the color of your dress, I just think don't put any bead in the hair. It might be trivial to many, but if the school says no bead, it shouldn't be a difficult thing not to put bead in the hair, because what I believe is that even discipline begins in the home. So if the school lays down, Chris, the ruling that no bead should be worn, it should be my role as parent to ensure that my child does not wear any bead because she don't have to wear any bead in the hair. That's me. We know that give people what they say, an inch, they take 1 yard. We don't know anything about boundaries. It's like it has to be hammered into us. So if the boy comes to school, if they say your uniform is to be at a particular length, the tailor should make the pants a certain way, it's called uniform. If I'm a flight attendant, and it starts from we are young leading right into our adult years. I have worked in companies where I've had to wear uniform. There is no way I can ask a dressmaker before I worked in a company where they made the uniforms. The uniforms came to us, we fit them and gone away yard. I worked in companies where we could get the fabric. They gave the fabric to us with the style, and there is no way I could have come back with anything, any kind of variation. So that's also a discipline. We're not a disciplined set of people. We know that. And even if it appears to me as trivial, or to you, because to me it's not trivial, it is important, then we wouldn't be having this discussion if people would just do what they are asked, because it is not affecting them learning. So now go to school with the bead, you're still gonna learn your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s. That's my thing.
And the vice versa. And that's where I'm saying that I understand about rules, and that's why I'm saying that some of these rules, because they're so trivial, they should not be allowed. The school should not be allowed to make these rules because it has nothing to do with education. For example, the wearing of beads is a cultural thing in Jamaica. So you are telling what the school is essentially doing is taking away that culture from that individual person. Because remember, the person is not just going to be going to school. The person is a person. The person is an individual in and out of school. So you are telling that person that they cannot wear their beads because each morning that they are going to school, they are going to have to, there are some hairstyles that if they are going to put beads in their head, they're going to have to take it out each time they are going to school.
Hey, then Chris.
So for me, they are eliminating. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of things, Lady D, and we may disagree on this and agree to disagree. But in my opinion, I believe that certain things should not, because it has nothing to do with education. Just like in America, students go to school. They have the public schools, the public institutions. We have no dress code here. And people go to school and they learn. It has nothing to do with them learning or whatever.
Yeah, that's because we close a blind eye, because I live in a community where you see the public schools and the private schools. Some of the private schools, the girls' skirts are so short that you wonder, and there is no, as we call it, bloomers. Then you have the children who wear regular clothing to school, and oh, have mercy, sometimes you see their clothing, you're wondering, so whose house you're coming out of? So again, the freedom to do what we want to do is becoming...
But then there are the extremes.
Yeah, but
There's always going to be extreme on any level.
Agreed.
What I'm saying is that...
No, go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is that there are extremes. Now you have the extreme, as you say, with students wearing the parents not seeing to it that the student come out of the house properly dressed. In my opinion, that is a completely different issue from just wearing of a normal attire, a normal dress code. And you're going to have people doing the extreme things no matter what you do. I'm just saying that some of these rules,
but Chris,
doesn't make sense for me.
No, I am for rule.
It's of an issue.
I am for rules because, and I am no hardliner. But if it is said beads are not permitted, where you're going a bead? They say don't come to me school with a bead. Don't come to me school with a bead in your head.
Pants. Okay, with the tight pants. Now, it is left to the interpretation. What they are doing is leaving certain things up to the interpretation of the principals or the dean of discipline. When they say, okay, no tight pants, what is tight to you may not be tight to me. So I saw them showing a couple of the guys saying that their pants were too tight. And I look at it and I was like, if these are the pictures, if these are the actual pictures they're showing and say these guys have tight pants so they can't go to class, it is ridiculous. Because what they are presumed to be tight might be from somebody who is 70 years or older and believe that you should wear some trousers, some baggy trousers, or somebody who is of a different era. So these are some of the things I am saying, that when you allow people to make some rules which can be misinterpreted, it causes a lot of problems. And so the public schools, I believe that the public schools, public institutions, should not be allowed to bar students from going to school because of certain dress code. That's just my opinion.
And my opinion, no problem. Thanks for your input always. And my opinion, if the school say, do not come in any tight trousers, don't wear any powder at your neck, don't come with bead in your hair, do not come in any kind of rouge on your cheekbone, it just mean don't come. Because what it does, it gives the appearance as though the school leadership is contentious, when truthfully it's a rule. Just because, again, if they don't learn it, since they're not learning it in the house, at home, then somebody else is going to have to say, hey, I don't know what goes on at home, but when you come to school, this is how you ought to be attired when you come to school. So that by the time they fuss and pout and carry on and merge out into the working world, they too will not be giving their prospective employers any stress. Who is on the line?
Good evening, Queen.
Hold on, King. My dear Hortense, you're still holding?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you want to add, my love?
No. I just the two, the pastor and the man with the children. Them.
Okay.
Those his children.
Got you. All right. You stay there. I know you have challenges to hang up, so you just hold. Good afternoon, sir. Greetings.
Good. I agree with you, Lady D. I agree with you. If I think I bad and I name what I name, make me put a color in my hair and think I'm going to show up for work tomorrow and think HR and the GM are going to make me stay at work. Nonsense. Only we black people do their nonsense there. My father that tell us now, say the Chinese and the Indians don't do their nonsense there. And that's why they go always stay ahead away. We don't need that. If me think me bad tomorrow after working with this company for how much years, if me think me bad tomorrow morning, go put color in my hair, whether me go put gold or silver or bronze or whatever me want to put it in it and think for that they go take me in work tomorrow. Nonsense. Teacher, if you send them home. Make the parents them out here do they encourage them to put in all of that, teach them and give them education and employ them and sign employment for them. You ever see how some of them turn up in the workplace?
Some tight skirts.
You can see into there tomorrow.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you?
You can see them future.
Yep. I had worn a white top to work one day. To the front of the blouse, it was kind of lace design, but they intertwined it with pieces of the fabric. So it's not like you're just seeing my skin and here am I at work and I don't care. But my boss came to me and whispered in my ear and said, Miss Gomez, I don't appreciate this top that you are wearing. And she's a HR person. May I go look at her and tell her, no, I am her assistant. She said, come. We jump in car, drive over to Portmore, me put on one blouse and find myself back at work. I learned something from that. To me, the blouse did seem like it wasn't a problem. Granted, you could see parts of my skin, right? But she said it was not appropriate. More so, I have male clients coming and I have to deal with them. And I got the bill and parcel, and I just said fine. And I know how to dress. You see, even going to church, I'm a pants fan. Nobody bother me about my pants. We wear pants to church. But you see, if I put on a pants and I think, oh, the hip look like it's a little too much or something, I kindly dress it up with a jacket.
Exactly.
So no distraction. So at some point, we're going to have to say, fine, this is where I come daily to school, to work, to church. Whatever else happened outside after I leave, that's on me. Or else we would not be having this discussion. There's a rule there, hell, you know. There's a rule is in hell.
And the funny thing about this, these are the same set of parents, I guarantee you, will tell you how the book expensive and they can't find the money, and they can't find money to do this, and they can't find money to do that. But here comes the money we put in the big hairstyle. I see a girl on the bus this evening coming from school in nails.
Mm-hmm.
Nails. And I said, I wonder if the parents know that this child has potential for a university. I wonder if the tuition put down in one bank account, in one investment bank account. They might put him in a nails and I said, this young little girl can be a future prime minister and president, but here they might throw in a nails for her now. When the college feed you, they are the same one that talk about student loan. And when they left school and university, they're in a debt up to their neck and look partner. Save their money. People need to save their money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have so much poor amongst us.
We have a new caller. Good afternoon.
Good evening, Miss Beautiful. How are you and all the listeners?
You know, I am still stuck at the beautiful section because I can't say handsome gentleman. I know not what Vernon looks like. Afternoon, Vernon.
Very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So you break the rules too, Miss Lady.
Do what you hear me? I tell you, somebody did wear one blouse thinking it was okay.
Not about right now, what you just said not too long ago.
About what?
You say you wear pants to church.
Yes. They don't stop us from wearing pants to church.
No, only male wear pants to church.
I hear you. Okay. Well, at Femi Church, the rule no hand down that me shouldn't wear any.
No more pants to church. You wear dress. All right?
At my church, that rule not in place. So me not breaking any. Mm-hmm. Not breaking any. All right, Vernon. Happy Labor Day. All righty, let's take a new caller. Good afternoon.
Lady D, just a quick one. I understand what Chris is saying, but we have to realize this is why a lot of these young people are so confused. When we were growing up, there was discipline. You have to have policies and procedures. You must have protocol in school. And if the kids don't learn when they're young, when they get to the workplace, that's why they are so undisciplined and so unruly. So one has to set the precedent. They have to set the stage. But we see where the kids sometimes want to be rebellious. They want to overrule. When we were going to school, we were disciplined. If the teacher says, don't do this, we have to realize, don't do. If you don't do, follow the teacher instruction, you're going to get a whipping. Or you're going to be disciplined in some other way.
And then it would be somebody, and somebody from the community would fix you. Mm-hmm. And somebody from the community would fix you. Yes, we have another caller.
I do understand, okay?
Yes, thanks. We have another caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lady D.
Hello there, ma'am. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What Mr. Willoughby was saying,
Mm-hmm.
it has to start somewhere. Because once one child is being allowed, everybody is going to do it because they're going to say, Gloria is doing it, so I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And rules are rules. I was going to a church in Jamaica, and this person, because she was fortunate more than a lot of us,
Mm-hmm.
she used to come late and come in. She could buy the clothes. And the bishop said, everybody in a gown. Everybody in a gown. Rules must be followed.
Mm-hmm.
Rules must be followed. And they have to learn it somewhere. Because if they don't learn it at home, they got to learn it in school before they get older. Because they're the same people who's going to, as as King said, when they go and to go to college now, that use the money buy nails and this and that should be putting down for the college fee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I love rules.
Mm-hmm.
I love rules. Rules must be carried out.
Yes.
You know, I sent 3 children to school and I never get a complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Yes, because I am a old school person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell Mr. Vernon, going men's aisle to buy your pants. You bought it in ladies.
I hear Vernon.
I don't really wear pants to church, but I Lady D. Thanks, Lady D.
Okay, no problem. Bye-bye. Alrighty, so I get, and I thank Chris Wilby always for calling in and participating, and I get it. But I believe, because for me, many of the missteps that I made is simply because the rules that were given to me, I did not follow them. If you follow rules, you won't have no problem. You and nobody won't have no problem. It will make you uncomfortable. And I find that our sense of independence can oftentimes blur our vision, because when we think in a certain out of the box way, it doesn't always benefit us, if it's not applied right. I can be independent. I can think that I should wear what I want to wear. I can put the bead, I can put the this and the that. But where does it apply? It does not apply in that particular school system. And he mentioned in the chat that it is a public institution. A public institution, it still don't matter. To me, public institution still has guidelines and principles that we need to adhere to, feeling that we don't need to be there. If we think that, because most of us, if when we go for a job interview, or we go to a registration process, through a registration process to get into something, we take the book and pencil, we write down, they give us handouts, we say yes, we will do this and we will do that. And yet, after we get our foot through the door, we dash the book and pencil, and any handout we got behind us, that's that. That's what you think. But that's not what I'm going to do. And as human beings, we have to realize that we're infallible. We are going to make mistakes, but there's some that it's a concerted effort. We make the decision not to do something when we say it is told to us it should not be done. And then it becomes a big uproar that it is not necessary. If your child in your household, after you lay down a rule, because a gentleman had said to me that his wife tend to go into a store and buy some little short up something for his 15-year-old daughter who is turning 16. And he says when he looks at his daughter, he's like, no, despite the fact I am your father, these things are a little too revealing for you to be walking up and down in the house. And I agree with him. So, wifey had to cut that kind of shopping. Because he says, despite the fact that he is her father, the contour of her body is so shapely out into them little cutout something. No. You have to still know boundaries in your house. So the same thing apply. If he can say to his wife, listen, stop buying them clothes for her, because it's making her look a little too appealing, and she's in the house, then what say out a door? People are letting their children just go out in anything, midriff, under breast, back out. I saw a young woman crossing. I was waiting for her to cross before I move off. Me mean to say, there's something tight out the whole of her contour of her pubic mound, one little half a bra something. Me think she on the beach. So, and on the street she there on Boston Road. So, we have to put things in perspective as I wrap up the show, that our sense of independence can be a fault. It becomes detrimental to us because we feel that the thing is okay. I rest my case. 3 minutes to 7 o'clock. I want to thank everyone for and yes, the backup. Oh, what Chris is saying here now? We were conditioned to abide by the master rules. I stand my opinion. Some of these rules are ridiculous and should be abandoned. And I hear you. And so am I giving my perspective on it. Rules don't harm us. Last time it not take no butter stick and beat us. It's just a deliverable. It is something that is documented. What can I say? Gotta go. It's been a good day, Labor Day, and I thank everyone for participating, and that's what I like. We don't always have to agree. We discuss the thing, we dissect it, and I might still walk away with my perspective and you walk away with yours. This has been another edition of Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, brought to you courtesy of Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx.
When you are hungry, come